Unit number 2, High Pressure Boilers, Part 5. In last session, we had discussed about FPC boiler. In this session, we will discuss about methods of superheat control. Let's start with the methods of superheat control. Accurate steam temperature control is necessary as rise in the steam temperature may result in the overheating of superheat tubes and turbine front stages. Also, reduction in the steam temperature may reduce the plant efficiency. So, the various methods are used for controlling the superheat temperature of the steam are given below. There are 8 methods of superheat controls, which are first by using combined radiant and convective superheater in series. Second one is by bypassing furnace gas around the superheat by damper. Tilting the burner in the furnace. Fourth one is auxiliary burners. Fifth one is using de-superheater. Sixth one is using pre-condensing steam. Seventh one is gas circulation, and eighth one is twin furnace arrangement. Let's start with the first method, which is by using combined radiant and convective superheater in series. In this method, we are using two superheaters, which are radiant superheater and convective superheaters, are connected in series as shown in figure number B. It is figure number B. Here you can see from the figure, it is radiant superheater and it is convective superheater. Both are connected in series. For radiant superheater, the temperature of the superheated steam decreases with the increase in the load. It is represented on graph. Here it is radiant superheater and its effect with the increase in the load is decreases the temperature. While for the convective superheater, the temperature of the superheated steam increases with the increase in the load as shown in figure A. It is figure A. Here it is convective superheater and its effect of temperature increase with the increase in the load is increasing. If the convective and radiant superheaters are connected in series, then the temperature of the superheated steam and the remains almost constant with the increase in the load. Here it is combined radiant and convective superheater connected, so the temperature and the load both are constant. Next one is bypassing the furnace gas around superheater by damper. You can see from the schematic diagram, it is bypass damper. It is used for bypassing the furnace gas around the superheater. It is superheater. Here, if the mass flow rate of the flue gases passing over the convective superheater is reduced, keeping the mass flow rate of the steam constant, then the final temperature of the steam is reduced. This is done by bypassing the furnace gases around the superheater with the help of damper, as shown in figure, particularly at lower load. This method is not widely used now because the material of the damper cannot withstand stress and higher temperature of the flue gases. Next one is tilting the burners in the furnace. You can see from the schematic diagram, here it is tilting burner. It can tilt in the range of angles. By tilting the burner up to an angle of 30 degree depending upon the requirement, the temperature of the superheat steam can be controlled as shown in figure. By tilting the burner downwards in the furnace, the much of the heat will be absorbed by the water walls and gas entering the superheat will be relatively at the lower temperature. If the burner is tilting upward, then the heat given to the water walls is less and water gases will enter into the superheater, hence the temperature of the steam is increasing. Next one is by using auxiliary burners we can control the superheat. You can see from the schematic diagram here we are using two burners which are auxiliary burners and main burners. The gas temperature and hence the steam temperature can be controlled by using turning on and off the auxiliary burners which is provided in additional with the main burner as shown in figure. Here the effect of this burner is similar to tilting burner. Next one is by using desuperator, or we can say that attemperator. You can see from the schematic diagram here it is desuperator. It is placed between two superheating sections. Attemperator is a heat exchanger in which the superheated steam is cooled by direct heat exchanger by means of spray of water or cooled indirectly in saline tube type of heat exchanger. It is also called desuperator. The temperature of the steam can be reduced by injecting the water either before superheater or between the section of the superheater. In figure, it is placed between two distinct superheating sections. In figure, the water is injected through nozzle between the two sections of superheater. Next one is pre-condensing the steam. You can see from the schematic diagram here we are using condenser for condensing the steam. The feed water which is used for condensing the steam in the condenser. The temperature of the steam can be controlled by condensing the steam coming out of the boiler by using a small condenser with the help of feed water as shown in figure. Here the feed regulation is done automatically. A portion of the feed water is passed through the economizer and directed through the condenser tube. The excess heat from the steam is transferred to the incoming feed water. Next one is gas recirculation. You can see from the schematic diagram here we are using gas circulating fan for recirculation of gases. The gas which is coming out from the economizer or sometimes even from the air preheater outlet is recirculated back to the furnaces by means of recirculation fan as shown in figure. By mixing the lower temperature gases from the economizer with the furnace gases results in the reduction of the flame temperature in the furnaces but the increase in the mass of the gases. Because of increasing the mass, the total gas enthalpy increases. This increased mass of the gases is passed over the convective superheater which results in the increase in the heat transfer. Thus, the temperature of the superheated steam is increasing. Next one is twin furnace arrangement. You can see from the schematic diagram there are two furnaces which are furnace 1 and furnace 2. We can say that the furnace is divided into the two parts. For both the furnaces, firing arrangements are different. The superheat temperature can be controlled by varying the firing rates in the furnace. Figure shows the twin furnace arrangement. The degree of superheat is controlled by increasing or decreasing the firing in the furnace 1. The temperature of the superheat steam is increased or decreased accordingly.